In this movement, we're going to use the wall to focus on building some strength in your arms and core and leg. So you can get up more easily, you can do things more easily, and all you need is a wall. So we're going to start by putting your hands on the wall and getting into a one leg forward position. So it looks something like this, one leg forward, one leg back, both hands at the wall. The arms are going to be bent a little bit. And from here, press. Press with both your hands, press with your back foot, press with your front foot. But basically try to move the wall and breathe. We're going to do these for about 6 breaths. 6 is a good amount of breaths to give you about a minute. And you want to have the effort be something like 30 or 40%. So you're not pushing that hard. Okay, now remember which side was back, because we're going to do the other side. Go ahead and switch. We'll just pause for a second. So by having the intensity fairly low, you'll be able to sustain it longer. And that gives your brain and your body more time to adapt and understand what's going on, and to become something that is normal for you. And that's what we want to do, is create normalcy, new normals. Let's do the other side. So the other leg, arms bent a little bit, so not straight out, but bent. Your head can be down, start to push. You can experiment by leaning forward, leaning back. It'll all affect how much you can push and what it feels like to push. And big breaths all the way in and all the way out. Count about 6 of them. It's really good when you take a deep breath in and it feels good, and then it's almost like a sigh, a slow sigh all the way out. It's a good sign that your nervous system is taking in what you're doing. You're not trying too hard. Go ahead and rest. We'll switch legs, because we're going to do 2 more rounds. In this next round, you get to try to push a little harder. The idea is maybe 50%, 60%. You're not going to try to knock the wall down. And I don't want you to take any kind of risks. But the idea is, what does it feel like to start efforting more? You're going to have the arms bent so that you have to use more muscle. And use as much muscle as you can. Here we go. So pick side. Lean in, turn your head away also. It'll feel good, but it's also good. It's a good natural reaction the way our bodies would react if we were falling into a wall. So head away and begin to push. Now you're pushing too hard if you can't breathe. And we want to get 6 breaths. Okay, good. Rest, switch sides, pause for a second. But when you push harder on these, you're relearning or resetting your body's ability to create force, and that's really, really important. By having your elbows bent and your head turned away, we're mimicking your body's natural reaction. If you were to fall, you want to turn away. You want to let your body react and flinch away. Let's go. So we've got the second side now, elbows really bent, head turned in and away, and start to push. Experiment. What's it like to push harder? Remember to breathe. 6 breaths. Good. Rest. Okay. Shake it out a little bit if you want to. We're going to do one last round. So this round, is gonna be more dynamic, so you're gonna maintain that effort 30%, 40%, so a little bit less than the second time, a little bit more than the first time. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna constantly change. So you're not gonna switch your legs, but you'll just move, you'll twist, you'll turn your head. And it's all about going slow and maintaining that force. What this is starting to do is introduce a lot more variables and directions, and your brain gets to figure out and puzzle, how do I keep applying strength and force in these unusual ways? Because if we did fall or just deal with something that we're not really fully paying attention to and being present with, we want our body to know where we are in space, and that's called proprioception. So we're trying to improve proprioception with strength. So briefly what it looks like, pick a side, start to push, and then explore keeping that pressure, but where can I go? And you can't do this wrong. You do this a few times over the course of a week, you're gonna keep finding different positions. Some are gonna feel like a stretch, some are gonna feel really weak. But the idea is breathe and move around and find new combinations each time. So here we go, 6 breaths. Put your hand on the wall, start to apply pressure, breathe, and gently, slowly move around. Okay, give it a rest, let that go. Switch sides. You remember which side we're going to do last. Again, remember to continue to breathe. If you're a little bit out of breath afterwards, that's fine. But the main thing is we want you as relaxed as possible so that you're learning as much as possible. And for the most part, when we're doing strength work, we're trying to learn and get the brain to learn, the body to learn as much as possible. That's very, very different than conditioning or exercise. Here we go, other side. Take a breath, apply some pressure, start to move. Good, let it go. Great job. So that's our push against a wall where you're holding a position, you're trying different possibilities, maintaining breath so that you can get stronger very, very quickly. As you do this each day for the next few days, experiment with getting stronger, but experiment with pushing harder. After a few days, you'll notice that it's easier to push harder than it was a few days ago. You might start to notice different ways you move during the day when you get in and out of the car, you sit, that you feel a little bit more together in your body. So enjoy.